My name is Blythe Brumleve, and this is the Guys Girl Show.
On that call, you heard Frank Frangiche, the Jaguars showing blitz, but then drop out of it. The Jaguars actually only blitzed the Steelers one time, yet they still got pressure. That's pretty impressive. As we welcome in Laurie Fitzpatrick from Ponytails Talking Pigskins podcast and a member of the Big Cat Country Film Room, reviewing Jaguars, Steelers, and all the highlights. Good evening, Laurie. How are you?
Great. How are you guys doing today?
We are fantastic. Thanks so much for joining us. Let's get right to it. How did the Jaguars get pressure without blitzing that much?
Well, obviously they have one of the best defensive lines in the entire NFL. They have Malik. Ngakwe has been doing great this year. Fowler has been getting pressure. Telvin Smith, the linebacker, coming through. He's been great. It's been awesome, and it's so exciting to be a Jacksonville fan this year.
With you breaking down all the games so far, film this year, we had the debate earlier in the show. Who is the best Jaguars player so far this season? Who do you think that is?
Well, I think a lot of people would say it's Leonard Fournette. But honestly, I'm going to go with someone that hasn't really been getting much love, and a position that really doesn't get much love either, Cam Robinson. He's a rookie, starting left tackle, and he is the reason why Leonard Fournette has been getting so many yards this year. We lead the NFL in rushing. We lead the NFL in rush yards per game and in first downs in rushing. And I think it's all because of Cam Robinson as a rookie.
Watching the Jaguars through the first 5 games of the season, what really sticks out the most to you as to how they've gotten 3 wins already this year?
Well, of course, it is the defense. I mean, leading the NFL in interceptions. Honestly, though, it has a lot to do with Blake Bortles. And he hasn't really been taking many chances downfield, which has worked out for us so far. He's been doing running a lot of quick slants, so we've been able to get the first down and then just punch it right in 4 yards at a time. But I would say it's Blake Bortles and not taking as many chances downfield. So it honestly just gives our run game more opportunity, and that way we're able to keep the ball on offense a lot longer than we did last year.
Laurie, a lot of people are saying that this is the best free agent signing that the Jaguars have had potentially ever. Who would you say is the best free agent acquisition that was made in this offseason?
Ooh,
tough. I know.
I would say Barry Church. Honestly, he came over from the Cowboys, and he replaced Cyprien, which I wasn't a huge fan of because in coverage he really couldn't get it done. Yeah, he was, a top in tackles last year. But if you can have someone that can also stick their nose in and make as many tackles as Cyprien, but also is great in coverage, I would say Barry Church is probably the best pickup.
Let's move forward to this Sunday at 4:05 now, which I love. What do you expect to see on film from this? Is it going to be more defense come out of the game, or is it going to be more offense come out of the game?
Well, the Rams, they haven't really they've been doing, obviously, they're one of the most talked about teams so far this year. Obviously, Jared Goff has done awesome. Todd Gurley is probably the reason why, they're doing so well. But they haven't played great teams. Like, they played the Titans, who they lost to. They beat the Texans. We beat the Texans. I'm sorry. They beat the Redskins. I mean, the Redskins haven't really done that well. The 49ers, they beat them and they're not really doing that great. The Cowboys, they just, for some reason, they're not doing well either. They haven't really played great teams, and they've allowed a lot of rushing yards. So I think it's going to be Leonard Fournette doing his thing again. I think he's going to have another breakout game. and I think it's going to be the rush game once again. And I think we're going to get the W.
I heard you on the Down by the Bank podcast that you were talking about how Leonard Fournette is such a special type of running back that the Jaguars haven't had in a while. Can you sort of elaborate on why you think he's so special?
Yeah, because we picked up a lot of, in the past, we've picked up a lot of speedy running backs. You know, we got TJ Yeldon, and, you know, he's good, and he's able to get to the outside. He's able to get to the edge. But honestly, Leonard Fournette, we needed someone to go right through the A-gap and just get 4 or 5 yards at a time. And he falls forward, which is the most important thing. He fights for the yards. If you see every single time he runs the ball, he's getting tackled. There's not ever one guy just bringing him down, unless it's by his shoelace. Honestly, there's 4 or 5 defenders on his back every single time, and that's just something that we haven't seen since, you know, Fred Taylor and MJD.
Laurie Fitzpatrick from Ponytails Talking Pigskins podcast, and also a member of the Big Cat Country Film Room, joining us now. Laurie, when it comes to the Jaguars cornerbacks, Jalen Ramsey and AJ Boye, they are having a fantastic season so far. Which one would you throw at?
Which one would I throw at? Oh.
You got to throw at somebody, right?
Yeah, I would say AJ Boye. It's tough. Ramsey is just, his arms probably reach down to his ankles. You can't get anything past him. Antonio had a great catch, but I don't know if you saw the replay. He totally pushed off, and it was offensive pass interference. Without a doubt, he would have never caught that ball if he didn't push off of Ramsey, and the refs weren't going to call it every time. So I would probably go with AJ Boye, maybe with a fade route, because there was that one good play against the Titans, or we played the Titans, and he gave up a pretty good play, but honestly, it was a good throw, it was a great catch. But probably AJ Boye, you just can't complete a pass against Ramsey.
All right, we can't let you go before we obviously ask you about Cam Newton and his wonderful comments to women. What was your first reaction when you heard him?
Honestly, I can't say it was shocking, because it's something that if you're a woman and you're in sports and you like sports, you talk about sports, it's something that you deal with almost every single day. You know, you enter a group of guys having a conversation, and they immediately write you off or don't pay attention, or if you make like a bold prediction, they just look at you like you're crazy. So I can't say that it was surprising. But honestly, it kind of is surprising being 2017. We have women that are coaching in the NFL. I think not embarrassing, but it's just, I'm glad he had a good apology, and hopefully this just spreads awareness that there are women out there that can ask great questions about routes and know about gaps, know about pools, you know, for the offensive line. And hopefully this just spreads more awareness, and more women won't be as scared to maybe go out there and just be a member of the media.
What would you say to a woman that wants to learn more about the X's and O's of the sport but's afraid to ask?
Honestly, it's a little shocking, but tell them to pick up PlayStation or Xbox and play some Madden, because you'll be surprised how much you can learn playing a video game, because Madden, it shows everything. You know, you have the routes that women don't know anything about. You have formations. You know, they're running a lot more college formations in the NFL. So you can even get more of the college aspect in Madden. But honestly, play some Madden, and 10 out of 10, you'll definitely learn a lot more than what you already know.
All right, Laurie Fitzpatrick joining us. You can find more of her work at LaurieFitzpatrick. Yeah, that's right. You can write that one down. All right, Laurie, last question for you. What is going to be the final score of the Jaguars-Rams game?
Ooh, I would probably say 30-28 Jags.
That close. All right.
Yeah, it's going to be a close one. A lot of points being scored.
Well, let's see if the Jaguars can keep up. I think that's the main question. All right, Laurie, thanks so much for joining us, and we would love to have you back on the show.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. Thank you so much for having me, guys.
Love it. I love when other women can say A gap and they know what that is. It's not even that hard. It's between the biggest guys on the defensive line. That's the A gap between the center and the tackle. It's not that hard.
Here's the supposed female response. You mean like shopping at the Gap? Is that what you want to hear?
I mean, I'm going to go out on a ledge and say that I don't feel comfortable asking. The only person I feel comfortable asking about, like, Sports 102, I guess I should call it, is my dad. Or going to Google. I wouldn't ask a group of guys for that reason, just because you don't want the judgment, like, especially now with working more in sports, you just don't want the judgment. I would rather somebody think I know it all than I don't, right?
Wouldn't playing fantasy football also help?
Not necessarily with the X's and O's of the game. It helps
positions.
Yeah, I would say with my girlfriends, with our all-girls league, I targeted women who were already going to the games, and so who are already Jaguar fans. And after they've been playing fantasy football for a little while, they watch other games now because of fantasy football. Right. Yeah. So I don't know that it helps with, like, X's and O's, but it does help with the general familiarity of the game.
I think if you want to truly study it, there are ways to go about doing so. And people like Jeff Loggeman, who does the Jaguars Film Room on Jaguars.com, that's an excellent way to start to figure out, okay, when they say the quarterback looks off the safety, what exactly does that mean? And when I mentioned when we came back that the Jaguars didn't need to blitz in order to get pressure, what exactly does that mean? How many people are they getting pressure with? I think there's a lot of different avenues that you can go about, even just searching online. But I will say that certainly listening to Tony Romo when he does color is another way to really help you learn what they're about to do, so you can watch where the ball is going to be, watch which side of the offensive line. Because that's certainly one thing that I will say. Watching a game live, it's really hard to tell which offensive linemen are playing really well. You can tell if the team doesn't allow any sacks, sure, the whole line, but you can't tell which specific
or which way
players.
The line is shifting. I guess who's being bully against somebody else. I don't know. X's and O's have never been something that is super interesting to me, unless I can talk to someone like a Laurie or listen to Jeff Loggeman. Like his on the tape Tuesdays, I think is what it's called, or Check the Tape Tuesdays is a must listen to me.
Oh, absolutely. And I think hopefully the conversation furthers to where people aren't intimidated to ask questions, whether it's females or guys, if you don't really know what's going on. That's one of my favorite things truly about working on, whether it was Jaguars Today then or working on Frank's show now, XL Primetime before that, just being able to ask them, like, so I don't understand why Jimbo Fisher continues to not go for it on fourth down. Well, the Florida State head coach trusts his defense. Okay, I guess you can look at it like that, but I love to ask and learn and things like that, and that should be a continual conversation if you are a football fan, which we are, so we are going to keep it on football. Coming up next, we're going to get into some NFL storylines and some acronym knowledge. That's right, Blythe and Tyler are going to test us old geezers, Donna and me. That's all next on Helmets and Heels, built by Dreamfinders Homes on 1010XL.
Thanks to everyone for tuning in to another edition of the Guys Girl Show, where I, Blythe Brumleve, take you along my journey developing websites by day and creating content by night. Stalk me some more on social media at Guys Girl or at Blythe Brum on most platforms. I'd love to hear your feedback on what I should be covering, what I shouldn't be covering, what you love, what you hate. And if you're feeling a little frisky, support the Guys Girl audio experience by dropping a 5-star rating in iTunes. It really helps a small but growing company like Guys Girl reach a bigger audience. So if you dig the content I give you, share it with your friends and your family. Drop us a little rating on iTunes. Love ya, appreciate ya, and I'll see you next time.